In this video, we're going to be going over how to create a test on Proctor U. So, Proctor U is a secure, live, and automated online proctoring service for academic institutions. And the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the website that we have here. And as you can see up here in the browser URL, we have the URL is proctoru.com/portal/Caldwell. And this is the website it's going to take you to. And as you can see there, you can see very well defined here that is our Caldwell account. So what you're going to do is you're going to request that we create you an account. So just send us an email and we're going to be able to set up that account for you. You can also sign up yourself. The only thing is that someone does need to give you a bit access to the account after you set up, and if we at the office automatically create your accounts, you'll have access to your accounts faster than if you sign up yourself. But for your students can sign up with a student account. There's no problem there. You do not need to manually create their account. So once you ask us to create you a Proctor U account, we will give you your login credentials and you can change your password then. So we're going to click on login since I already have an account. And we're going to go and put in our credentials here as I've done. And then you're going to click sign in. And once you've signed in, your account's going to look like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on add new and go to exam. If after you watch the video you still are a little lost, you can always click on exam entry guide and it's going to show up like this and it's going to walk you through the steps. Just as you're seeing here. But since I'm going to be going over the steps with you right now, I'm not going to have that enabled. But if you do have it enabled, it's going to make sure that all the sections that need to be filled out, you fill out. So here in the exam title, it is recommended that you're as specific as possible. So what you could do is name the exam title, use your course ID at the beginning. So I'm going to use my course ID. I'm going to pretend that this is um, a, a business course. So BU 987001 1920 SP. Let's say that is my course ID. And then I'm gonna name it the name of the test that I created on Blackboard so my students know exactly which test it is. And I believe I created a chapter 13 test. Yes, I created a chapter 13 test. And then here on the department, you're gonna select the department. Right now there's only 4 departments. If your department's not here, let us know and then we could add it here for you to select. So I'm going to select business department. Here under incident reports, you're going to add a user. You're going to select yourself. So my user account is CU Online. And then if you also want, you can add either me, this is my account information, or my coworker's information, this one. Just so that if there is some kind of incident report, we also get notified and we could also take a look as to what's going on. So you want to put yourself as the first person and then either me or my coworker over here as the second point of contact. So that's what I'm going to do here for this first one. And then instructors, you're going to add yourself. So add instructor. Automatically, because I'm already logged in as this user account, see you online, it's going to automatically choose me, but I could choose another person if I want to as well. And then term, there's automatically, we're in spring 2020, it's going to have that term already set for you. Duration, during minutes. So this is where you have to remember whatever time frame that you allotted for the test on Blackboard. How long should it also be allotted for on Proctor U? My exam, I made it 90 minutes long. The exam URL, if you ever need like some kind of explanation, these little circles with the I in it further explains what that would be. So the URL for our Blackboard is codwell.blackboard.com. You would just write that. And then exam password. You have to make sure that you set up a password for your exam. So you would want to write that in there. And the password that I have set up is BU, what was it? BU987. And then put it here, BU987. So once you do that, the next part is this template part. You do not need to set that up. No need to worry about that. And you can just continue to the next part. Here, if you check this off, it's just going to require test takers to agree to an exam specific terms and conditions. Up to you if you want to have that selected or not. And then you are right here what those terms and conditions are. And then underneath, these are permitted resources. So if you want to, you know, be able for the person who is proctoring the exam to know that your students can use your textbooks, an ebook, calculators, notes. As you can see here, there are a couple of options that you could select, and you would definitely check off any of those tools or additional resources your students are allowed to use with the test. If you have no if your students are not allowed to use anything, then you would just click on no resources allowed. Otherwise, you would check off textbook, scientific calculator. If they have notes, you would just check off any of the additional resources they're allowed. I'm going to keep for this example as no resource allowed. You can also write if they're allowed bathroom breaks. Up to you whether, I'm not sure how long this test will be, but definitely it is up to you whether you want to allow bathroom breaks. And then here under browsers permitted, which browsers, you just select the browser. I would say Chrome is usually one of our best options, or Firefox with using Blackboard. Those are the best options. And then here other resources you can put if your students, if one of the resources is not listed here, you can definitely write that there. If there's any the expected number of test takers, so this would be how many students do you have in your course at the moment. You would put that number here. So let's say I have 15 students in my course, so 15 students should be taking this test. And then over here, any additional exam notes. If you have any students with exceptions that have given you a paper from the disability office, and because some students do require extra time for a test, you're gonna put it here. You would put your student's name. So for the test that I have set up on Blackboard, I have that Hanira Mitch. questioner is allowed 130 minutes to take the test, and she is allowed one sheet of notes. I would just let them know so that the person who's proctoring the specific user, and I'm going to highlight it, the person who's proctoring the specific user knows that she is allotted more time and she's actually allotted one sheet of notes while taking the exam. Notify of if you want to be notified when your students have enrolled for an exam, you would put your email here. So the email account that I use to see you online, you would just put your email address there for that. So here for contact information, so here you could put your name if there's any kind of exam issues. Proctor U will message you just in case to let you know that there's any issue. So you would just put your name there. Fill in all of that information. If there's any, if you're only going to be available during a certain time frame, you could put that here as well. And then here under Windows, you're going to determine the allotted time frame for your students to be able to set appointments to take their test since they need to be proctored. So today's March 17. So let's say the test is going to happen. Let's see. Yes. Let's say I want this test to start on the 26th and then end on the 28th. So I would click here, 26th. My students can start taking their test at 8 a.m. And then on the 28th at 9 p.m. is the very last appointment slot. And then once you're done with that, you can click submit for review. Oh, and if there was an error, they're going to let us know. Oh, okay, so as you can see here, that didn't work because I didn't put the HTTPS. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it. And then you want to double check all the information is correct so that we don't get that error message again. And we're going to submit for review. So you're gonna see this pop-up window, and it just says the exam has been created and is pending review, and Proctor U is gonna review that and email you with any additional information that they may need. They're gonna let you know when the exam is active, and you're gonna click OK. And it says here your exam has been created and pending review. We will respond via email if we need additional information and notify you when the exam is active. So I would say set a Proctor U testing environment up a few days before the test needs to go live, just to give the people at Proctor U that time to review the test that's being created and get back to you on it. And this is the information that's provided. So you would just need to give your students the Proctor U website, which was proctoru.com/portal/Codwell, and they can create their own student accounts to take the test. So to take the test, when they search it, all they have to search for is this, which is the name that you gave the test, BU 987-001 1920 SP Chapter 13. So one thing that I should mention is that this password, you want to make sure that this is the same password that you have set up for the test on Blackboard. So over here, I'm in the Blackboard course that I created, and I have here my Chapter 13 exam. And I'm just gonna open that test options and show you that I did enable that password and just confirm that that's the same password that we put here for Proctor U. And just make sure, 90 minutes like we said, and the student exception, everything is there as you had said. And one note is that I would definitely, kind of write a little disclaimer here for your students, letting them know that they have to, register for the 90 minutes. So, okay, that they should register for Proctor U for the, I gave them 90 minutes or an hour and a half time slot in which they wish to take the exam, and then just giving them that URL so they could create their own Proctor U account, and then just giving them available resources if they do have any issues. This is just a very good note to just kind of give your students so that they know that they have to, do this extra step and create an account on Proctor U to be able to take this exam. And then once you have everything set up, it's going to look like this. And your students are able to click on the Proctor U Codel portal. And they should be, once that loads for them, it should be able to go to create an account. So sign up. And then they would do test takers and go through that process of creating an account. And then they'll be able to take the test.